F-109. We got, by the way, the rest of the media, you lazy people out there colluding with the Clintons, you could actually do this too. I have it right here, and Mr. Mayor, it actually has the 18 U.S. Code, all of the issues you brought up, and we'll put them on the side of the screen. Uma Abedin, every single one of those, if she has classified material on there, isn't that each one of those a felony?
Yeah, each one of them is, and
so you could have Uma and Anthony Weiner going to jail together.
There's no question anymore as to whether or not Hillary Clinton, Abedin, Podesta, all these people violated the laws. You have to be almost stupid not to realize it. The reality is, the thing that is really more shocking is the tremendous cover-up that took place here. The corruption of the Justice Department is, to me, absolutely shocking. The fact that Podesta's lawyer is in charge of this investigation. I thought Loretta Lynch had recused herself from this case, yet she was telling the director of the FBI that he couldn't respond to Congress. She was refusing to allow a grand jury, or at least her old district, the Eastern District, was refusing to allow a grand jury here. The Justice Department, it seems to me, is the one that corrupted this investigation. And there's got to be a couple of people there that are also going to be liable eventually when this gets investigated. Clinton, Abedin, the people right around them, Pagliano, I mean, these people are so guilty. As I said, you'd have to be stupid not to realize it.
Let me put up the WikiLeaks revelation specific to the Clinton email server, because these are important. I mean, WikiLeaks has done two things that I think are very important. One, they show that we have no cybersecurity. Two, they expose just how corrupt they are here. We're going to have to dump all those emails. Should we hold back subpoenaed emails of the president and the Secretary of State? You know, correct me if I'm wrong. You're the former prosecutor. Aren't all those things crimes?
Yeah. What it indicates is their first reaction. Their first reaction is to do something criminal. Let's see if we can dump them. Maybe we can't dump all of them. Let's see if we can dump some of them. But not, rather than, we have nothing to lose, and just putting them all out there because we didn't do anything wrong. It indicates, again, that you would really have to be mentally inferior not to figure out that
wasn't an option. They ended up deleting them all.
Well, they deleted them all, and they bleached them.
Yeah.
They bleached them, which you know, is a pretty sophisticated level of crime. And now she says she wants the emails turned over. Well, Hillary, if you wanted the emails turned over, what'd you bleach them for?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you about this Department of Justice official who notified Congress that the agency would dedicate all necessary resources to the reopened Hillary Clinton investigation. Well, it turns out that John Podesta, again, thank you, WikiLeaks, referred to him as the guy that saved me from jail. Is that a conflict of interest? Maybe I'm just living in a different world.
100% conflict of interest. Just like it was a conflict of interest for Cheryl Mills and the other person who got immunity to sit in as a lawyer when Hillary Clinton was being interviewed by the FBI. Just like Loretta Lynch, who said she recused herself. Her involvement in this is one conflict of interest after another. After her meeting with Bill Clinton 4 days before the interview at an airport in, I think, Phoenix or Tucson, Arizona. I mean, I could count for you so many conflicts of interest, it would astound you. They have corrupted the Justice Department in a way that I don't ever remember, even in the Watergate days. I mean, the people in the Justice Department resigned when they were asked to do things wrong. Yeah. I am so ashamed of the Justice Department and their role in this. And, you know, I think part of why Obama defended Comey is he realizes that Hillary Clinton infected his administration with massive corruption.
What do you think about the vote of confidence that Obama gave Comey, that he's not trying to interfere?
I think it's a sign that he realizes that his legacy may be maybe the biggest scandal in the history of this country, bigger than Watergate, bigger than Teapot Dome. You got so many parts to it, Sean.
Yeah. And he's connected to it. She dragged him into it.
misuse of confidential top secret information, jeopardizing possibly the lives of agents in the field. Then you have a multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollar fraud involved with the Clinton Foundation and the State Department. Just the mere fact that Huma Abedin worked for the State Department, the Clinton Foundation, and the Teneo Corporation.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I was in the Justice Department somebody having two outside full-time jobs, one of them a complete conflict. Remember, she signed a document saying she was going to keep the Clinton Foundation separate from the State Department. So why is her top aide working for both?
Right. I'm running out of time.
Tell me, explain that to me.
We're up on a hard break. If you were prosecuting this case based on the information you have now, give me a percent of accuracy that you'd get a conviction. What do you think the odds are that you prosecuting this case would get convictions of high-level officials here?
I've won cases much more difficult than this. I never guarantee a victory. I'd come pretty close to saying she could be convicted under all those statutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say she could be convicted of all those statutes I gave you a year ago, and now about 4 more. And then I'd put on top of it a racketeering enterprise, the Clinton Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, Clinton Incorporated Racketeering Enterprise.
Well,
if they had an Italian name, they'd have been prosecuted already.
Wow. All right, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for being with us. And up next tonight on Hannity.
If we don't repeal and replace Obamacare, we will destroy American health care forever.
Average American didn't keep their doctor, their plan. They're paying $4,100 more than they were paying before, and many states are seeing a 100% increase from last year's premium to this year. Donald Trump laying out the reasons why Obamacare needs to be repealed and replaced. Laura Ingram's next with reaction. Also, Monica Crowley, Larry Elder are here to weigh in on the mainstream media's bias.
National security, though, coming out this week. We've seen Mr. Trump take some heat for praising Vladimir Putin. Is it appropriate to praise a dictator who represses his own people and violates international law?
See, I don't think he did. And then I think he clarified it the next day. And he started clarifying it during the debate. What he said was, and I really don't want to talk politics, but let me just explain this. What he said was, just because he flatters me doesn't mean he can get a better deal. You got to know Donald Trump.
But he also said, if he says nice things about me, I'm going to say nice things about him.
Well, the same thing Reagan did with Gorbachev. I mean, Reagan and Gorbachev dealt with each other, and it was the Soviet Union then. And Gorbachev was a killer just like Putin's a killer. But that ended the Cold War without firing a shot because Reagan was capable of walking out of Reykjavik. As Trump made clear the other night in Pensacola, he's perfectly capable of walking out of a deal. If it's not in the best interest of the United States, it wouldn't be the first time he walked out of a deal. And generally, when, I've known Donald for 28 years, when he walks out of a deal, they come back on his terms, just like they did with Reagan and Reykjavik. So I think you have to see that in the context in which it's made. He has the negotiating ability. And then this is all prefaced by a day in which he talked about major increases in our armed forces, going up to 600,000 troops instead of going down to 420, going up to 350 battleships instead of the lowest since the First World War, increasing our Air Force, modernizing our nuclear fleet. So he'll be negotiating with Putin the way Reagan did, from a position of strength, rather than the president who's negotiating with him to the extent that he does. They did over Syria from a position of weakness, running away from 12 red lines that he drew in the sand, giving up the defense of Poland and the Czech Republic, resetting the relationship